Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, we are going to talk about why this spring could be the hottest housing market ever, including hotter in 2021 and 2022.
Something's got to be hot because Vegas is cold right now.
Vegas is pretty cold right now. It was like the high was like 40 or something today.
It was 50, but it was cold.
It was pretty cold for Vegas. Okay, before we get started, the video we're going to do tomorrow will probably be one of the best videos of the year. Because what we've got is we've got some data on what's getting ready to happen in certain markets. And one of the things we're going to show you are the 10 potentially hottest markets. And the number one market to watch with the most that will be going on, appreciation, the whole thing, is not a market. If I told you the name, you would say, no way. Okay. So you got to watch the video, got to subscribe and do all that if you want to watch the video. We're not talking about that today. Okay, Juana.
Yes.
We said this before in another video, that the two things that happen that make people decide what to do economically are actual data,
right,
and then sentiment, what
Correct.
they believe.
Correct.
Okay, this is from an article. Mortgage rate decline pulls buyers back into the housing market. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through all the data in this article because there is some sentiment data in here that is the highest ever recorded. It's going to blow you away. This is brand new stuff. We just did an update in Vegas where we went through the fact that Las Vegas, the price per square foot of homes has gone up over 1% in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Now, that's obviously not going to happen for the rest of the year because home prices go up 30%. But that's pretty crazy for December to January.
Right.
Okay, let's go through this article, talk about what's going on with mortgage rates and why it could get pretty crazy this spring. Okay, first of all, these are the key points of the article. The spring housing market might be getting underway a little early this year. Mm-hmm. We're starting to see that here in Vegas, right?
Right. December was hotter than expected, and I don't mean the temperature.
Right. Recent slide in mortgage rates pushed buyers back into the market. Mm-hmm. We're starting to see that.
Right.
Anecdotal information, stuff is starting to disappear pretty quickly.
Right.
Okay. Supply is still tight, but more houses could soon be available. We're going to talk about this too in the video. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. First quote for the video, or for the article. A sharp drop in mortgage interest rates in December may have kick-started this year's spring housing market early. Rates are about a full percentage point lower than they were in October, and consumers expect they will fall even more. Why would they even care if they're going to fall? Like, if they think they're going to fall, why wouldn't they wait 6 months or a year to let them fall another 2% or whatever?
For a couple of different reasons. First of all, people have been waiting for 2 years, so they're kind of done with the waiting thing. The second part, I think people are pretty savvy, and they understand that the lower the interest rates, the more competition there will be for homes. So the buyers are definitely looking out there to see what's coming on the market because there hasn't been a whole lot on the market. So anything that comes out the market, buyers are very willing to entertain and purchase. Okay.
Here's a quote for the article. Optimism about mortgage rates increased sharply in December, according to a monthly consumer survey by Fannie Mae. For the first time since the survey was launched in 2010, more homeowners on net believe rates will go down rather than up, according to Mark Palin, Deputy Chief Economist at Fannie Mae. This is the first time ever. Now I'm going to put this chart up, okay? This is the chart. This has been tracking this data since 2010, so basically almost 24 years.
Wait, 2010, that's 14 years.
14 years, I'm sorry. Okay, so.
Math in public.
Math in public. Blue line at the bottom is they believe rates would go down. Now, if you look at that, for the most part, people, about 10% have said they thought at any point given time rates would go down. You've got the 30 to 50% who always say they're going to stay the same. Mm-hmm. And people that thought rates would go up, these are pessimistic people, were pretty high. Matter of fact, if you look at this, most of the time, people said rates would go up, right? For the first time ever, if you look, now it got close in 2020. It was just a couple percentage point where more people said rates would go up than down. But those lines look like they intersect, but more people actually said that rates would go down in the next 12 months than go up.
Right.
And what's incredible is look at the rate of change. of their sentiment on this just from, and that line is only probably a 2-month period on here. It looks like it's going straight up. It doesn't look like it's just going to magically turn. I mean, how much of this do you think is because of what's happened and because of what the Fed said in November? How much do you think that is that? Or do you think it's just pent up demand and people are trying to be optimistic? Because according to this chart, people are not optimistic.
So I think it's a combination of things. I think that people have seen that inflation's sort of under control. The Fed hasn't taken any more action, which usually precipitates, in this instance, rates going down. And I think that people just generally have a good sense that after rates having gone up for so long and then no action, it's probably going to mean rates going down. Plus, remember, probably when this was taken, when the survey was taken, rates had already started to go down. So I think people are also likely to follow momentum.
What I think surprised me the most about last year was that interest rates ended up close to 8% by the end of the year. They went up throughout the year, but home prices were going up too. Like in Vegas, they went up 6.1%. A year where they were supposed to crash, basically, they went up. And here we are at the beginning of the year, and they're still going up even faster.
Right.
Okay, here's a big thing that I'll read. This was part of the article. Mortgage rate optimism has increased dramatically this month with a survey high share of consumers anticipating mortgage rates declines over the next year. Mortgage rate declines, not home prices, said Mark Palin, Vice President and Deputy Chief Economist of Fannie Mae. The significant shift in consumer expectation comes on the heels of the recent bond market rally and an already significant downtick in 30-year mortgage rates from their high of nearly 8% in November to 6.62 as of the past week. Notably, homeowners in higher income groups reported greater rate optimism than renters. In fact, for the first time in our national housing survey history, more homeowners on net believe mortgage rates will go down than go up.
Which is a good thing, because if homeowners believe that mortgage rates will go down, then they're more likely to put their homes on the market, sell them so they can buy something else. So that's a good thing.
Isn't that really, honestly, because it's supply and demand. And interest rates aren't supply and demand. They don't fit in there. They're a factor for demand, but they're clearly not all of demand.
Correct.
Right? We've done videos on this where we've talked about how interest rates affect the housing market. So the other thing on this, though, is that there is pent-up demand. So there's two things. There's pent-up demand for buyers. There's a bunch of buyers that are trying to buy. And then there's also sellers who probably would like to sell. Okay? But some of them maybe are tied up because they can't sell and then move their equity and then originate a new loan maybe because of the loan. They want the rates to go down.
Right. So, I mean, there are loan products out there that will bridge that gap.
Okay.
But by and large, people tend to think of it as a one-to-one swap, and it has to be across the board, and stars have to align and all that. So, barring a little more creative financing, people just need to do something straight across the board. Right.
I think the biggest thing is people are saying, I want to sell my house now and then get the other house, even though I know the interest rate will be higher because I know in a year or two it'll be a lot less, so I'll be able to refi.
Right.
Okay, so here is some information. This is anecdotal. This was in the article about the demand side. Okay, buyers are coming back. Washington, D.C. area real estate agent Paul Legere hosted 2 open houses over the weekend. Homes in the 1.1 million to 1.2 million price range. Not probably a median buyer, maybe for D.C. That would be a median buyer probably for San Diego. And said they were the busiest he's experienced in the last year. Okay. Similar report from my coworker, he said, even on Saturday during torrential rain, we both had over 10 groups of active shoppers. These were people that had been in the market and had slowed or put their search on hold and are coming back earnestly looking for new property. In Vegas, we have had 15% of the inventory disappear in 2 weeks. And we're already at record low numbers of inventory. This is the lowest inventory we've ever had this time of year. And it's just, we're actually potentially on track by February, March to have the lowest amount of homes available for purchase in Las Vegas that we've ever had.
Right.
And we did that on our market update. If you go back and look at the update we did for Las Vegas, we just did it yesterday.
Yes.
Right. How important do you think that is? That because we have these uneven things here. We have potential, because we get the people that come in the channel and talk about, oh, the new home builders have thousands of homes in every market that they're just waiting, like they're doing their preparation dance. That at the end of the dance, the houses will appear and they'll crash the market, right? And then we also know for sure that we have these people who are like waiting, and they're being told, don't buy. Like, I remember a year and a half ago, people would drop in the comments and say, you'd be dumb to buy now. You should wait. Next year, there'll be a crash. Now home prices are higher. And now they can't buy now. I mean, literally, they should have bought, even if they bought it in May of 22, they could have got a 5% loan, and the home would still be worth more than it is when they pay for it, right?
Right.
How much of importance do you think that is, the fact that we have these unequal things that we don't really know? We don't know how many people are really going to come back in the market. We don't know how many people are going to put their homes on the market.
Well, I mean, we always have that, right? I mean, that uncertainty is just part of the market dynamic. We don't know how many people are going to buy and sell, in any market in any given year. Anyway, we can take a swag at it, but we don't know, and we don't know that perfect house is going to come on the market, just at the right time for us.
What does your gut say?
My gut says what I've been saying is that we are going to have more transactions this year than last year, and that we are going to have a much more exciting spring.
That's good for real estate agents, right? More transactions, but they don't care about that.
No.
They really just care about, are they going to get, like if they're an investor, they just want to get a decent price. I've got a chart that I'll put up in a second after we talk about this next one.
But, I mean, what's a decent price? I mean, if it's something that is below market value, it's going to get snapped up. You're going to have multiple offers, and then you're still going to end up paying market value, because that's what multiple offers do. They bring up the sale price to market value.
I'm going to put this chart up. This is a picture of an area called the Lakes. Now, there is an area in here where there's super high-end homes, okay? But as you can see in here, this area that you're seeing is almost a square mile. This is literally an entire residential area. Everything you see here are either are single-family homes for the most part. There's a lot of them on this screen. And there are a total of 5 houses. A total of 5 houses available for purchase. This is all that's in the MLS. You can go find this on Realtor.com, or you can find this area and go look at the houses here. What's funny on this is there's a lot of homes in here that 2 years ago were the 300 to 350,000 rentals, 1,600 square feet that you could buy for, 320, 350 maybe, and we get you $2,000 a month in rent. Mm-hmm. And here we are. There's none of those. They just don't exist. And I actually looked at some of these houses. That one that says all the way on the right, this is 544K. Mm-hmm. That's like a 1,700 square foot. I think it's a 4-bedroom. It's a 1,700 square foot house. It's just it's very similar to one of our rentals, and it's like that's at least 150,000 or 200,000 more than it would have been 2 years ago.
Right.
And you could say, oh, it's overpriced. It's not going to sell. Well, then what about all the other houses? Like, where are they? Because if you had looked at this area at any time in the last 14 years, there would be 30, 20 or 30 houses you could have bought in this area, and not, 540 is not the entry level price in this neighborhood for a 1,700 square foot house.
No, and these homes are tract homes. They're 30 plus years old. They're not. There's nothing special about them.
Right. Okay. Here's another quote for the article. A recent report from Redfin, national real estate brokerage, not true, found demand starting to pick up in December as rates fell. Redfin's Homebuyer Demand Index, a seasonally adjusted measure of requests for tours and other home buying services from Redfin agents, was up 10% from a month ago to its highest level since August. According to the report, pending sales, which measures signed contracts on existing homes, were down 3% from December 2022, but that was the smallest decline in 2 years. Anytime they talk about existing sales, it's completely, you can't really compare it to normal because the total number of available homes isn't the same. Mm-hmm. So people say, hey, less people are buying homes now, and then they go, oh, it's because their rates are too high. I just showed you a chart. There's no homes to buy. Like, those people trying to buy the entry-level house are not going to be able to get in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, here's another quote. I think this is the last quote. The rate momentum okay, this is my favorite one. Okay, this was Matthew Graham, the chief operating officer of Mortgage News Daily, said on CNBC's The Exchange. The rate momentum is as good as the trajectory of economic data. So if the data continues to do what it's been doing, there's no reason rates couldn't go down into the fives, possibly even the high fours, if some of the talking heads are right about a recession in 2024. Want it? This is counterintuitive. Explain to them why a recession would cause interest rates, mortgage rates to go into the 4%.
Right. So if we have a recession, then the Fed would lower interest rates to stimulate economic activity, and if that, of course, would also help the mortgage market participate, and interest rates for mortgages would drop too. Except that very few talking heads, even the pessimists, are seeing a recession in 2024.
We did a video on that a few days ago, and the consensus, there were like equal number of people who said recession that said no recession, which is interesting. But almost nobody said there would be remember, it was only like 2% of people said it'd be a really deep recession.
Well,
like nobody really believes that's going to be. And the other thing is that you get a recession and people go, oh, but in recessions, the market crashes.
No.
Well, we've had 30 recessions probably since 1980, maybe not 30, but we haven't had that many housing crashes. Actually, that's the opposite. Every time there's a recession, 5 out of the last 7 recession home prices have gone up.
Right. So, kind of to your point, even the people that said that there would be a recession in 2024, it would be a mild one, which, when revisited, it would be kind of a head fake recession the way we've had before. So, I think most of us believe that 2024 will not bring a recession, or at least will not bring a notable recession.
Sometimes this data comes out and then like 3 days later we get new data that's kind of interesting. I was a little bit pessimistic for next year. Didn't think home prices would go up a lot. Thought mortgage rates would go down, but didn't think it would affect home prices that much. I'm just a little concerned because obviously home prices can't keep going up at 6%. I mean, 6% a year is pretty high, especially after we've had 30-40% appreciation here in Vegas. So I just wonder what happens if we do a little recession, Fed drops rates, we get some 4% mortgage rates again, and everyone comes back in going, I don't care, I just want to get the house. Oh, $544 for a 1,700 square foot house. I'll take it. Where $544 for a 1,700 square foot house sounds like California prices. Maybe not San Diego, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, look, it's supply and demand. If there's not a whole lot of houses on the market and this is the best you can do and you can afford it and this is what you want, then you're going to pony up for it.
You're seeing in the luxury market, though, that this interest rate thing isn't really doing it. It has not affected what you're seeing.
No, I mean, if anything, it's actually made homes sell faster, and more of them have sold because people are looking for a place to put their cash, and real estate is one of those investment vehicles.
Okay, now let's talk about the average person out there who's not buying $1 million houses just to park cash. Mm-hmm. They're either trying to buy a house to live, mm-hmm. or maybe they're trying to buy investment property, or they're thinking about selling. And then how does this affect them, knowing that there's some rich people that have, $120,000 sitting in a money market making 5% that are going, maybe I should go back in the housing market and grab 3 more rentals, mm-hmm. right? Because I'm thinking now prices are going to go up, and if rates go down to 4%, now I'm competing with these, there's not that opportunity to go out there and grab a decent rental.
It's interesting that you say that because one of the investors that we work with actually contacted me yesterday, and exactly that scenario.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he selling or buying?
He's buying.
Nice. Good. I like it.
So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think that you do have people in all kinds of economic places or places in their lives that are looking to purchase for a variety of reasons. And that's why I said it's going to be a very lively spring with everybody going out there and seeing what property they can find that suits their needs.
Okay, make sure you subscribe because the video tomorrow will be pretty fun. When when we start the video, we're going to preface it with how this year was. But you're literally going to shake your heads and be, there's no way this could be right when we show you the top 10 markets. It's actually interesting, but they actually have data to back it up. There's a lot of good data, and it's national video, so no matter where you are, you'll probably get something out of it. And if you're just kind of we get a lot of real estate geeks, because people watch your channel from all over, even though we mostly talk about Las Vegas when we talk about granular data, because we can see it a lot in real time here.
Right.
So
all right. So hopefully you had fun and you like Todd's chart.
yes.
Please remember to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, leave us your real estate related comments, comment on Todd's fabulous wardrobe.
My wardrobe.
And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.